Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another cast of Vopies Television. Several things have happened in the past week that we're going to be talking about, and we're going to first start with Danielle Clayton and Sophia Alderasi.
Thanks, Ryan. The presidential debate went well this week. More on that with our reporters. First up, Casey Close.
Thanks, Danny and Sophia. Last Thursday was the first debate of the presidential campaign. The first two topics discussed were economics and education. We heard a lot of good things from presidential candidate Mark Emery. As for the economy, in his opening speech, Emery noted that he was aware of the issues America is facing right now and plans to raise minimum wage in order to lower poverty rates and increase income. He stated multiple times he would like to decrease inflation, but did not specify exactly how. As for education, in his opening speech, he stated he wants to increase teaching jobs and boost funding for schools. He stated that he would like to increase funding to schools by taking 10% of funding from the military and funneling it into education. Emery was very well spoken and confident in his answers, and you can hear about his statements about the next two topics in the newspaper. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Casey. Now to Sarah.
Thanks, Danny and Sophia. Last week on April 21st, the candidates had their first debate. The topics of this debate included economics, education, climate control and clean energy, and Russia and Ukraine. When it came to climate change, candidate Logan Coleman said that 40% of Americans live in areas that have unhealthy levels of ozone. He believes that we need to resort to clean energy and move as quickly as possible to fix these problems before there are long-term effects. He plans to increase the EPA's budget and work on air quality if he gets elected. That's all for now.
Thanks, Sarah. Now to Sage and Logan.
In this week's debate, many topics were discussed revealing the perspectives of our candidates. When asked about education, candidate Matthew Grassa stressed the importance of public education and the teachers in this country. He also made promises to try his best to make community college free for the first 2 years and increase education funding by increasing taxes for those with a salary over $1 million. Grassa has also made it clear that he supports vaccine mandates and wants the pandemic to end as soon as possible. When asked about the economy, Grassa said he is focusing on lowering gas prices and inflation. He plans to do this through moving towards cleaner energy and becoming more sustainable as a country when it comes to energy and oil. He wants to add funding to transportation and infrastructure across the country as well. This week has really stirred up the voters. Back to Sage.
Just yesterday, we saw Matthew Grassa take the stand. Through his speech, Grassa communicates his concerns surrounding gun control. He shares many statistics of the tragedies caused by the abuse of guns and the effect it's taken on our country. Grassa knows of the current lack of gun control and wants to implement further precautions to keep the citizens of the country safe. Grassa shares his ideas for stricter control and how he hopes to introduce a trial period for new gun owners. The Comment Party makes their efforts for change unknown and hope to stress the importance of gun control throughout the country.
Thanks, Sage and Logan. Now to Katie and Bella.
Thanks, Danny and Sophia. The public heard more from candidate Joe Riordan in the highly anticipated debate that took place on Thursday. One of the topics that was discussed was the Ukraine and Russia conflict. Riordan's stance on the Ukraine and Russia conflict is that he wants to keep doing what's been working. He believes that there should be a no-fly zone, but it should be implemented by Ukraine's military, and that the U.S. should not send in military action. Because if we do, then we're giving Putin what he wants. He also said that he would consider Putin to be a war criminal. He also discussed 3 other topics that we will hear about more.
During Thursday's presidential debate, candidate Riordan expressed his main focus on economy. His main focal point is U.S. production of goods and the importance of not relying on other nations for goods such as oil and vehicles. Another way he plans on boosting the economy is by redistributing government spending. According to Riordan, federal funding should be redistributed to benefit the country most effectively, rather than be wasted. He used the prime example of a lower-end school spending $20,000 per student, while a nicer school was paying only $10,000 per student. More on our debate in our newspaper. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Katie and Bella. Now to Ryan Bohr to finish it up.
This past week, Sean Gallagher had made a TV ad and had displayed it to the public, and this is representing the Panda Party's action regarding funding education and ensuring that colleges that are funded by the state are going to be free, and this will prevent that student debt and it will reduce it because of the fact that the state is going to pay for most students' education unless they're going to a private school. This is all I have to say right now, and we hope to see you again next week for another series of Vopies Television. Have a good evening.